Hi, I'm Kelsey. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm one of the human rights advocates at Youth Disability Advocacy Service.
Hi, my name's Nat. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the intake officer for the advocacy team at YDAS.
Hi, I'm Heather. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm the Human Rights Advocacy Manager at YDAS.
So human rights come from both international and Australian laws, and they apply to everyone equally. This means that you can't be discriminated against when accessing your rights. Disabled people have the same rights as everyone. Examples of your rights might include your right to safety, your right to education, your right to express yourself and to participate in public life.
I think it can be really difficult as a disabled young person to know when your rights have been impacted, especially if you aren't sure what your rights are.
I'm someone who didn't realize that my rights were being impacted, and it was through speaking and engaging with an advocate that I realized they were.
For me, I was totally unsure what my rights were and how I could find out that information. For me, I felt a lot of anxiety and stress, and I felt very overwhelmed when these things were happening. But I was a bit made to feel like it was normal, or there was nothing that was like wrong with what was happening. And so what I did was I listened to that gut feeling that something wasn't quite right. And I did a little bit of research on what disability discrimination was, what my rights were, and then I spoke to my advocate.
If you feel something that is upsetting you, most likely your rights are being impacted. You're not feeling safe, you're not feeling like you. Something's going on.
And it was through speaking and engaging with an advocate that I realized they were. I was just able to identify that I wasn't being treated fairly, and I wasn't being treated the same as other people in the space, and that's what led me to engage with the advocacy service.
I think if something is making you feel uncomfortable, listening to that gut feeling will tell you a lot. And if you are unsure about something, it's okay to reach out, especially to the Youth Disability Advocacy Service, and ask and check.
So there are lots of different avenues that you can take if your rights aren't being upheld, and depending on the issue, it can determine what steps you should take. It can be really complicated sometimes to figure out what to do, but advocates are trained in how to help you and know what steps to take.
And that's what we do at YDAS with our individual advocacy. We can support individual young people with human rights issues that they might be having.